Well, we have a big change in the pattern coming that has been advertised, and as it moves in, we're talking about potentially 2 rounds of severe storms on Thursday, followed by much cooler and potentially wetter weather. So one last hot day today, temperatures in the upper 80s here across eastern Minnesota, low 90s again in the western part of the state. So one last July-like day for now, before we return to below normal temperatures. Actually, we have a developing surface low here in the south that we're watching all of this starting to come together now as an upper level trough in the west. We've been talking about that cool air aloft is pushing into the west. That's finally pushing this big bubble of heat here in the central part of the country east and allowing for us to get into more of a southerly flow, which will bring in those higher dew points, which we've already been seeing. Dew points in the 50s to near 60 today, noticeably more humidity, and that is going to help alleviate the fire threat as well as providing moisture for potential showers and storms. So by tomorrow, ahead of that front, dew points in the 60s, followed by much drier, cooler air. We've already seen a big change in the dew points. This is a 24-hour change in the dew point temperature. A lot more moisture across the state compared to yesterday at this time. So improving conditions there. And we are going to be watching this surface front. This is going to be the focus for potential storm development tomorrow. It's going to be coming in from the southwest, a little bit of an unusual direction. We typically look to them moving west to east or northwest to southeast, but tomorrow you're going to see the cooler air coming in from the southwest and some gusty winds with that. And that front is going to have quite the contrast. 70s and 80s ahead of it. This is 4 p.m. tomorrow, but 50s in southwestern Minnesota. So this is that cool air wrapping into the system and pushing through and focusing the potential development for some storms. So tonight into early Thursday, the risk is really southwestern Minnesota. This is going to be from storms that develop today in South Dakota, and then whatever holds together will track into southwestern Minnesota before fizzling out. Now, if they hold together and move into the Twin Cities midday, that could hamper our chances of severe weather. So there are those storms this evening. And then moving into southwestern Minnesota in the early morning hours tomorrow. This is 5 a.m., Pipestone, Laverne. And then again, if it holds together, this might kind of cap the energy here in the central part of the state. So that's why we're really looking more into Wisconsin for the risk of severe storms tomorrow, an enhanced risk, but Storm Prediction Center has kind of wrapped a slight risk more broadly around that in case we see storms pop up right on top of us or just to our west, southwest. So it looks like around 2-3 p.m. we'll see storms fire kind of right on top of us or central Minnesota, and then those will move northeast ahead of the cold front. It's going to be a very narrow window of the parameters lining up for severe storms and then wraparound showers into Friday, it looks like, for kind of a cool, wet, windy day on Friday. So here's that significant tornado parameter. Watch how it's just kind of a narrow window. This is 1 p.m. Thursday, just on top of or ahead of the cold front. So as storms fire a little later than that time frame or after the front passes us, then we're out of the woods for severe weather in the Twin Cities. But if it develops on us, or just to the southwest, we could see some strong storms. The high-resolution rapid refresh model has that second round kind of on top of us in areas north and east. We'll also get quite a bit of rainfall out of this. So 2 rounds of storms could add up to over an inch of rain here from southwestern through central Minnesota, and hopefully we can kind of push this into those wildfires in St. Louis County, northeastern Minnesota. And then gusty winds tomorrow night, not from storms, but from the front itself. In the wake of that cold front, cool air blowing in could produce some high wind gusts. Now that model is particularly high, but easily some 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, I think, tomorrow night. And then Saturday, much cooler, low 60s, 50s and 40s to the north, below normal temperatures for a change. Saturday, by below Minnesota, considering Halleck was 100 or close to it much of this week, and then we'll drop to probably near freezing early Sunday morning. This is your Saturday night lows, frosty for the northern part of the state. Staying in the 40s, though, here in southern Minnesota. And this might set us up for a more active pattern as we head into Tuesday. More rain on the way, potentially, and below normal temperatures into much of next week. We'll see how long that lasts. We've got pretty dry here, so it's going to take a lot to make up some of these May deficits we have. Warm, though, today, upper 80s, 90s to the west. Storms tomorrow, again, in 2 waves, early and then potentially late afternoon, evening, followed by lingering showers and wind here for Friday. And then temperatures next week remain below normal. Dry Sunday, Monday, but we're looking at potentially more rain Tuesday.